So let's talk a bit about rotations. Now rotations are pretty simple as well, however they are somewhat quick, so that I'll teach you quickly. So using our favorite politician again, Donald Trump, we can illustrate exactly what a rotation is. So as you can see, it rotates about a point, and this point here in this image is the center, and it just turns the image around that point. So imagine that point as a pivot. So similarly, in our transformation, we had a T matrix, now we have an M matrix, which is the shorthand used for the rotation matrix. Theta here is the angle of rotation. As you can see, it's an anti-clockwise angle measured from this point here. And one important thing to note is that the OpenCV function, which is get rotation matrix 2D, actually does scaling and rotation at the same time, which you will see in the code. So let's implement some rotations using OpenCV. So rotations are very similar to translations in that we actually have to generate a transformation matrix, what we call the rotation matrix here. And to do that, we actually use an OpenCV function called getRotationMatrix2D. Now this function is fairly simple as well. What you give it is, first argument is the center, the X and the Y center, which corresponds to width and height. That's the center point of the image in most cases. However, you can and you are free to rotate amongst any point in the image for whatever reason that may be. This is the theta, which is the angle of rotation. Remember, it's anti-clockwise, and this is a scaling factor, which I'll bring up shortly. And we use this rotation matrix again in the OpenCV warp affine function. So let's run this code, see what it looks like. There we go. So that's our image rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise. And you may have noticed that the top and bottom parts of the image are cropped, mainly because the canvas size remains the same. So there are two ways we can fix that. One, let's adjust the scale here. So let's put this at 0.5. There we go. However, there's a lot of black space around this image. Now to avoid that, you would actually have to put the specific width and heights of the new rotated image. So whatever you anticipate it to be, you can program it here. However, that's not often, well, it's a bit tedious to do sometimes unless you have a special case for it. There's another way we can do it, and that's by using the transpose function here. Now the transpose function, let's run this code and see what happens. It actually transposes the image 100%. Now you may not see the bottom because it's cut off from the screencasting software here. However, the image is fully done and rotated here anti-clockwise, and there's no black space around it. So this is just another easy and convenient way of rotating images. However, it only does it in 90 degrees increments at one time. So you can play around with this and actually do some cool rotations without having to actually program the width, the new width and the new height of the new canvas.